There was a time when a game like Future Unfolding would come along and reviewers wouldn't know how to deal with it. Titles that toe the line between artwork and video game have become more prevalent though, and we now have an ample body of work on which we can reflect and compare new titles. Games such as Shadow of the Colossus, Journey, and Brothers are gatekeepers of this genre. They are the giants by which new games in this class will be judged. After all, reviewing games is more or less a process of analysing a title and comparing it to the body of work that came before it. When we play a game like Future Unfolding, let's call them arty video games for lack of a better term, we now go in expecting certain things. A lot of the time we expect stripped back game mechanics in favour of a unique or compelling experience. That is to say, we forego some of the usual expectations we have of games and gameplay in the hope that what we will be given is a unique and emotional experience. Those gatekeepers I mentioned before have earned their place because they do so without going so far as to reduce gameplay altogether. So how does Future Unfolding stack up against these behemoths? It definitely fits into that game art genre. The first thing you'll probably notice is the visual style. Playing the game feels more like you're brushing strokes through a piece of abstract art. The movement and animations are strangely beautiful and hypnotic. I'm reminded of old Disney animations when I watch the main character move. In terms of gameplay, the game acts as a sort of top-down platformer. You can move your character in all directions, hold down a particular button to sprint, and use another button to interact with the environment. In terms of controls, that's basically the extent of them. Using the keyboard and mouse is possible, but it felt a bit clunky to me. A gamepad will give you a much more fluid experience. You will be spending most of your time using the interaction key in-game to interact with objects in the environment. This includes talking to NPCs, befriending animals, bouncing over bushes, touching flowers, rocks, and other abstract anomalies. It's not exactly clear what your goals are, where you are headed, or why you're doing what you're doing, but in the process of interacting with objects, you can open up new areas and find new NPCs to converse with. This is perhaps my biggest gripe with the game. I don't know what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, or why I should even bother to do it. Whereas in a game like Journey, there's a sense of urgency and mystery brought on by the desolate landscape and the crumbling ruins. In Future Unfolding, there's nothing really there to push or pull me forward. No mystery and no urgency either. Speaking to the NPCs does give you snippets of enigmatic dialogue, but nowhere near enough to keep me interested. In fact, they were more infuriating than anything else. Cryptic clues to a puzzle I had no desire to solve. The gameplay, while not horrible, wasn't really interesting either. It felt less like the world was directing me to try certain actions, and more like I was engaging in a process of trial and error. There wasn't any logic as to why by interacting with certain bushes or rocks I could connect them with visible strings, and the puzzles and processes you were forced to go through often felt contrived and frustrating. I personally did not enjoy this game. Its abstract puzzles only served to obstruct my progress towards an end goal I did not understand and had no desire to reach. The unique emotional or narrative experience we've come to expect from these games was in this instance lost in the frustration I garnered towards the contrived nature of the puzzles themselves. The game's saving grace, however, is its beautiful art style and those enigmatic animations. There were moments where I got truly lost in its beauty, but these moments couldn't outlive my misgivings. I give Future Unfolded a 5 out of 10.